Hello once again, witchy people. Welcome back to the Covenstead. And a question from, I have some notes, but I'll explain about that in a minute. Lois Rose asked about protecting our energy from negativity, which sounds like a really simple question. So I started sort of like thinking about it and writing notes, and 2 A4 pages in, I realised that I was putting myself into a mental rabbit hole. So although I'm going to start talking about protecting our energies from negativity, I'll sort of explain a little bit about why it's sent me down this mental rabbit hole. So, general protection from negativity is something we often hear talked about. Rites, spell work, rituals, herbs, salt, gems, more, all that sort of thing. But what about protecting our own personal energy, our energy? You see, and this is where it gets slightly different. So when we are protecting our energy from negativity, it's definitely more complicated. So, and it's not just because we have to address what is our own personal energy. It could be our, hello Barclay, Barclay's here. Our pep, our oomph, if you like. What we gather and amass from around us, within us. What we draw from other energy sources, such as stones, gemstones, nature, herbs, that sort of thing. And then after that, it's kind of like a debate on whether the negativity is an outside influence, an outside force, or self-made, like doubt or anger or sadness or any other self-imposed issue, or even a psychic or a metaphysical force. Outer influences are easier to define and to deal with, often in a non-metaphysical way. So how can we deal with a bombardment of negativity that seems to drain us and harm our energies? And because it harms our energies, it also harms our focus. So the first thing I think is to understand yourself. Know the signs that your energy isn't quite right. And things like this: are you more stressed? Can't relax? You're distracted. You feel on edge. Like you get a feeling like something is about to happen. That sort of feeling on edge. So what are the signs? Barclay, stop licking your pawpaw, darling. What are the signs that show you are being attacked or sapped by negativity? Now, if it's an obvious outside influence, then it's an easy fix, really, usually. So you can remove yourself from a situation or from somebody's company. And in that way, those outside negative feelings and bombardment, you're just taking yourself away from it. But if it's just that sort of wary, uneasy feeling with no apparent reasoning behind it, then what? So I guess one of the first things is to try and stop focusing on the negativity. So you stop focusing on the negative aspects around you. So it's kind of like we are what we think. We were talking about positive mentality not that long ago. So we are what we think. So if we think about how bad we feel and how awful things are around us, or how stressed and worried we are, we perpetuate and confirm those feelings. So we increase the negativity. because we are confirming the negative feelings. But we've also got to be aware of not only how we talk about and to ourselves, but also of others' attitudes and how we react to them. So think about how we manipulate energy for spell work. We amass it and we funnel it into a purpose or goal. And that's how we, you can tell the notes are finished. Thank you, Barclay. We mould that energy and influence it to help ourselves. But what if it's the energy that's being attacked? And this is where the rabbit hole gets a little deeper. So what happens if, hello, come on then. What happens if, we are trying to protect our own personal energy, if you like, but we need energy to protect it, because that's, like I said, we often hear about protective magic and, protection against negativity. Well, we use energy to do that. We use energy and manipulate energy for spell work, and that's how we counterbalance the negativity. But if it's, if it's negative energy, then we have to somehow take our energy, and that kind of goes back to positive thinking, I guess, and a positivity in your mind, and in accepting things around you, that you have to then start counteracting the negativity. So there are 1,001 spells that you can do to banish negativity. But if that negativity is an energy that is building within you, if you are trying to protect your own personal energy from negativity, then you have to use that energy to build up positivity, to counteract the negativity. It's really hard to explain. This is what I mean. I started with notes and I had ideas and everything else, and then this mental rabbit hole just opened up and took over, because it does all depend on how you think about, if we're talking about protecting from negativity, that's one thing. Protecting our own energies from negativity puts a different spin on it. And I do believe the only way you can do that is to have a positive outlook. And I know that sounds really hippie-ish and really, new age claptrap, as my dad would once have called it. It is, I don't think new age is claptrap, by the way. It's just a phrase. It is thinking about positive thinking and positivity in a way, and using your own positivity as an energy for spell work to counteract negative forces coming into our space. Negative forces, Barclay! Negative forces coming into our space, but also negativity that we produce ourselves. So we have to change our mindset and think about how to sort that out, how to almost like turn that frown upside down and make a smile. You turn the negativity around. One thing my granddad used to say a lot, so did my dad, and I say it a lot, is every cloud has a silver lining. You have to look for the silver lining. And I know it's really cliched, but you do. So it's silly things, and every cloud does have a silver lining. Not, to me, sometimes the cloud is the silver lining because I like clouds, they're pretty. But you have to look at the one, even if it's one small tiny piece of positivity within a negative, build on that. So, and I think that's the only way to do it. I'm just going to pause a minute because I'm going to shout at the dog. Yes, you. You're a Yorkie Terrier, not a Frenchy Poodle. No kisses. So, it is, I mean, like I said, if we're talking about general protection from negativity, Search Anywhere, there are so many different ways, you know, even holding a stone that resonates protection with you and resonates positivity with you is a good way. But like I said, you have to think about the one, even in so much negative. I'm trying to think of a really bad negative that you can get a positive from. When my father passed away, it was the worst time of my life, without a doubt. And it's very hard to find a positive in that to keep going. And at the time, I didn't. And it took me a while to try and find the positive. And the positive was, he was my dad. I had him for 69, well, I didn't have him for 69 years. I had him for all of my life up till that point. He lived 69 years. That's something, you know. And he died peacefully. And he imparted to me so much knowledge, wisdom and wit, you know, throughout my childhood and my adult life. There's my positivity. And you have to think about better times and good times. You know, so no matter how dire a situation, you have to look for a positive. And sometimes it's really difficult. I know that because it was difficult for me back then. But it can be done. And that's the only way I think you can really truly protect your own personal energy from negativity. So there you go. That's it. That's the best way at the moment I can think of answering a question like that without going into spell work, because I think that brings a different spin onto it. You can build protective walls with energy, and it is a matter of visualization. So you can do that sort of thing. But I think even in building those walls, you need to have a positive foundation. So it all comes back to being positive, and I truly believe that's the best way to do it. And I don't mean to sound, like I said, new age, hippie, anything else, but if that's the way it is, that's the way it is. And so there you go. That was a question asked, and I will be doing another one of these very soon. Like I said, if you ask me a question, the chances are I will answer it eventually. So there we go. That's it for now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, even if we were interrupted by Barclay. And if you want to know how he's doing, I'll be doing an update soon. Thank you, witchy people. I'll be back soon. Bye for now.